Hello and welcome back, friends. It's Fishing Feed episode 7. It's been a while since the last video I made. So I've been away on holiday, but more of that in a minute. Today, it's the first day of February. So winter's nearly out. I hate winter. I hate fishing in winter. Well, not that much. I don't. I love fishing, but it's not so pleasant in winter sometimes. I'm here today. Look at that. I'm here in the urban jungle. Good God. On the River Irwell, one of my favourite rivers, obviously, since I live on the banks of it. I'm here virtually in the centre of Manchester. That's Trinity Road Bridge behind me, for those of you who know it. And I brought the old drop shot rig and a tub of worms in my pocket, travelling light, rucksack on my back. I'm going to try a few spots in town and see what I can catch. The Irwell's, it's interesting, the Irwell, like most rivers. If you fish the worm, you haven't got a clue what you're going to catch next. So it could be pike, decent perch, hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for. Could be out of season trout, grayling, lots of chub here, big roach. Absolutely no idea what we're gonna hit on. So let's have a look. Down behind me, let me find it. Down there is a lovely peg over my shoulder. There's a big deep hole under that bridge. I'm going to start there, have a few casts, see how I get on, and then I'm going to put my rod down and walk through all of that maze of buildings up there to a pub that's closed down, but we've fished it many times in the fishing club and over the years, called the Marcaddy. It's closed down, but you can still access their beer garden at the moment. So I'm going to go down there, down to the Marcaddy, and work my way downstream towards Old Trafford. So I was going to fish Salford Quays, but United are playing today, so it's an absolute nightmare down there. It's about 1:15 now. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off at Old Trafford, so there's no way I'm going down there with the car. So I'll be there for the rest of the day. But it's a look at it, lovely. It's 8 degrees. There's a tiny bit of sun. Can't see my breath when I breathe out. And let's see how I get on. Welcome back. I've missed you all. We're going to have some fun this year. Lots of things going on. Again, more of that later. I'll tell you all about my holidays. Tell you more about this year's plans. New website, new fishing tackle shop. All sorts of stuff going on. Brilliant. Here we go. This is the view from down on the riverbank, under the bridge, looking downstream towards Victoria Station. For those of you who know it, Victoria Station's right down there under that third bridge. This is the pool I'm going to fish into. And, it's quite easy. Once you get, it's a bit tricky getting down from all the way up there. You come down the side of the bridge there. You're on the sand and riprap just on this little beach here, so it's a nice little place to fish from. I'm going to come here in a couple of days' time, and we're going to have a live session. I bought a new camera, a GoPro, instead of the cam park that I've been using, a little action cam. Action cams are great, capture loads of stuff, but they don't really link in that well to other apps and social media, so the GoPro, as we'll see in a few days' time, we'll be able to come and we can all have a fish together at the same time, and you can chat to me, ask me questions, and we can live and breathe it and enjoy the successes and failures together. Anyway, this is my rig today, and very simple. Let me get the old camera out. Tub of worms from Angling Direct, $3.99. I've changed rods today. For the last 12 months I've been using a Shakespeare Agility 10 to 25 gram rod. This time Hachibar off eBay, 30 quid. I think, I can't see because I've not got my glasses on right now, but it's much lighter. I think it's 3 to 12 grams. I've got two little SSG weights and a size 8 hook on there, and in a minute I'm going to put a worm on and we'll go fishing. There we go, cast out, bring it back, and hope there's not too many snags. Well, three casts, 2 snags, no bites. I lost, 2 snags, 2 rigs, so I had to tackle up 3 times now, or with the 3rd time. I'm going to have a move. I don't like this. Let's, we're going to go downstream, hang on, in that direction, about a mile. And let's have a look and see what we can catch down there. I'm having a nightmare. I'm in the city centre on the Irwell, and it's just not going right. I've keep snagging up on the bottom on this drop shot rig. I must have changed rigs now about 5 times. But I started the day with a full pot of SSGs. It's nearly empty now. So instead of using 3 SSGs at a time, I'm now using 2. I re-rigged again, but I reckon another 2 re-rigs and I'll get fed up. I've got some, I'll show you. There we go. Look at that. I've got some 5cm jellies in there, some paddle tails. I've got other bits and pieces. I've got some weedless rigs, some other lures. They should be alright. That'll keep me going. But I'm going to keep fishing until it goes dark. So there we go. Not so good so far today, but a couple of hours left to light, and we'll see how we go on. I did promise you an update, didn't I? An update on what I've been up to for the last 2 months since the last video. So I think the last one was episode 6, and now we're up to episode 7. So I've been away to South Africa on holiday with the family. We had 3 and a bit weeks out there. Absolutely fantastic. I took some fishing tackle with me, but I was having such a good time with the kids and the wife. And it's a family holiday. I'm really, like 2 days here, 3 days there. Everyone wanted to have a look around, and no one really wanted me to disappear for half a day at a time just to go fishing. We had an absolutely fantastic time. I saw great white sharks, which is pretty cool. Loads of wildlife in South Africa's national parks: lions, leopards, elephants, giraffes, you name it, we saw it. I went to the very bottom of Africa, to the Cape of Good Hope. I went to Cape Town, Johannesburg. I saw rhinos. It was absolutely fantastic. And we got stuck in the snow and all of the rubbish on the way back. So our flight was diverted to Gatwick, and I had to hire a car at Gatwick and drive back up to Manchester, which was no fun after a 20-hour flight and loads of delays and all that sort of stuff. But come back, getting on with life again. As I said, I've got loads of exciting things planned for this year. The geese are going to go again in a minute. Someone's upset the geese, but what can you do about that? Loads of exciting things for this year. I'm going to do a bit of more live fishing. I bought myself a second-hand GoPro 10, which means I can live stream and actually chat to everybody at the same time in the online chat. What else have I got? I've got an underwater camera, which is going to be interesting on drinkies. I'm going to clear a few swims, get the camera in and see what comes along. And just generally get out fishing a bit more. I'm in the process of updating my fishingfiend.net blog, so if you've never visited that, take a look at fishingfiend.net. It's a fantastic blog on there that's going back probably 13, 14, nearly 14 years now, I think. Hundreds and hundreds of posts on there, loads and loads of fishing trips, and I'm going to turn my hobby, hopefully, into a career and have an online fishing store, so you can actually buy the fishing tackle that I use, catch fish with, blank with, but at least you can see what it looks like, how it works. I can give you honest, truthful product reviews and nice cheap fishing tackle that you can buy online from me. But in the meantime, I've got to catch some fish, so I'm going to shut up again. It's been really nice chatting, and thank you for joining me again. It's nice that you leave me likes and comments in below. I always like a good comment, have a chat. And we're going to get on with some fishing. I'm going to fish till it goes dark and see how we get on. So let's see if the day's going to turn out with a fish or two, or with my blankety blank checkbook and pen. But no matter what, I'm going to put it on the internet. It doesn't matter, because everyone blanks in February. There is no shame, and there's no shame in blanking on the Irwell, because it's a hard venue. Sometimes you catch loads. You can have red letter days, absolutely fantastic fish. Sometimes if you're in the right place at the right time, well, very often it's a grim story, and it's looking that way today. Anyway, let's crack on, we'll see how we do. Well, it feels like I've lost probably a dozen drop shot rigs now. I keep getting snagged up. It's probably less than that, it's probably 7 or 8, but it feels like a dozen at least. And do you know what? It's like being in a bad relationship, with this drop shotting in the city centre and the river here. It's full of snags, and I keep thinking, oh, it's going to get better, it's going to get better. It never gets better, does it? It just gets worse. And you keep doing the same thing over and over again. Anyway, I snapped out of it. I've seen the light, I've seen some, and I've moved over. Just turn it over the right way up. There we go. I've moved over and re-rigged with one of my last SSG shots there onto a weedless hook. So that's a 5cm paddle tail. It's nice and bright. And let's see how that does, because look, the lights are just be coming on now. So that's Victoria and Albert Hotel there in Manchester. I'm going to fish all the way down to the beyond that metal bridge to the stone bridge beyond. And I've come past the Aviva, past these new bridges, past that Rennica Tower, and I've not had a sausage yet, not a single thing. But that's fishing. I'm not worried. It's been brilliant being out. I love it. I'm going to do loads more fishing this year now. So let's see how I get on in that direction down towards that big tower there. Oh my gosh, thank God it's only 8 degrees and not like -2. I can feel my toes and I can feel my fingers, and I had a lovely afternoon out, so that's not too bad, is it, for February? But right, let's crack on. Shut up, Duddy. Get on with the fishing. And there we go. Look at that, Manchester at dusk. So 5:20. I think it's the 1st or the 2nd of February today, and it's been El Blanco. Look at that. It's a lovely place, isn't it, Manchester? Hey, the urban jungle. Never mind. That's a bit better. Look at that. That's better. I changed over to that weedless 5cm paddle tail lure. I didn't get snagged once as soon as I went on the weedless. So obviously dragging the bottom with those swan shot on the worm drop shot rig wasn't really the best, because there's so much rubbish that gets dumped in this river, unfortunately. Well, that's life. I've really enjoyed myself. Sometimes it's not the catching, is it? It's the anticipation of going fishing and the anticipation that you might catch something. There's some tremendous fishing here in Manchester. Anyway, that's that. I'm going to make my way home now. I'm going to stop off at McDonald's on the way home. Not for any food, but for some of their lovely coffee, because McDonald's sell absolutely fantastic, red hot, tasty coffee. I think it's the one thing that they do really well, and it's only a quick 99p. So there we go. It's noisy up there. Someone must be having a party in an Airbnb in one of them. Hang on, let's have a look. Oh no, it's them outside slugging lettuce. Isn't it funny how the camera changes? If it's that way around, everything's really dark. And when I swap it round with this camera, all of a sudden it's daylight again. Anyway, who cares? That's been a lovely afternoon out. This coming week, I'm going to go and catch myself some dead baits, and we'll catch some pike on the little lake behind my house at Drinkwater. So thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed yourself, even though I didn't catch anything. But that's life sometimes, isn't it? And it's glad to be back out. Well, that session in the city centre was a load of rubbish. And it's frustrating, isn't it, when you know there's a fish or two there, but you can't catch them. Anyway, that was Sunday. Today's Tuesday. I've just been to the tackle shop and bought some pinkies. On my way out the back, there we go, down Heart Attack Hill. There you go, Phil's favourite hill. He refuses to walk this anymore. So I always think a sign of my fitness if I can manage it or not. Anyway, I'm going to go to one of the lakes behind my house. There's 6 lakes behind my house within 15-minute walk, which is nice. And one of them, I always do pretty well on a whip with pinkies to catch some small fish. So I'm going to catch myself. I'll stop walking. I'm going to catch myself half a dozen small ones and bonk them on the head, take them home, and then tomorrow we'll go pike fishing. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh well, hang on. Let's cut that and start again, because in the lake next to the motorway's got horrendous road noise, so I'm not going to do any filming there. I'll just take a little picture, I think, of the half a dozen small roach that I catch, and just show that. And then the next thing you're going to see after that is tomorrow I'll do some pike fishing on the lake that is 50 yards in that direction. But I'm going to go 3/4 of a mile in this direction now and catch myself some dead baits. Right, see you in a minute. I know I said I wouldn't come back to you because of the motorway noise, which is just there through the trees. Because the weather report lied. It's smashing. I just got here, I've not even set up yet. It's smashing it down. Oh, I've walked all this way. What else do you do? Hide under a tree with no leaves on. Turn your seat upside down and keep your maggots dry. And grin and bear it, eh? The things that I do to catch a fish. Bloody hell. Hello again, friends. So yesterday was a bit of a, well, not a disaster, but the weather was horrible. I got absolutely soaked. I was freezing cold, because getting freezing cold wet in February is no fun. But I managed to winkle out these 3 fish in about half an hour. They're not particularly big. So these came from the lake I fished yesterday with the whip. And because they're from a different lake and they're still fresh, I froze them overnight just to kill any parasites and stuff, because you do have to be careful. You're not allowed to move live fish from one lake to another, but I also think if your fish are still fresh and wet from one day to the next, they still might have parasites in them. So I froze them overnight to kill them off. We're here on Drinkies, me and Phil, who's holding my able-bodied cameraman, and because the fish are so small, I mean these are pinky fish. On one rod I've got a small bung, a lead bullet, and a wire trace, and a double hook set up. And I think they're only about size 8s. And on the other rod, we've got very similar bung, lead, wire trace. And because this fish is so small, hang on, that fish is so small, we've just gone with a single treble on our wire trace, and we'll see how we do. So thanks for joining again. We're going to be here for about 2 hours, I think, and before I have to pick the kids up from school, and we'll see how we do, because at least, look, proof I am not a blanker, even though I did blank in town and it was a horrible. And then yesterday was raining. Oh, the trials and tribulations of going fishing. So here we are. We started fishing at 2 o'clock and it's nearly 4 o'clock now. We started with 2 rods out. We're down to 1. We had 3 live baits to start with. Sorry, dead baits. And we've still got a dead bait out there under that bung. The first of our 3 dead baits, I cast it off. Wasn't attached properly. The second one, I hooked a pike. Only a small one, but I didn't set the hooks. I felt the fish bending the rod, but I didn't set the hooks properly. And then we brought the rig back, touched the hooks just to check. Blunt as fuck. What an idiot. And I was saying to Phil, where are you, Phil? There he is, look at him, the man himself. I said to Phil, I said, the most annoying thing is I actually had I've got a little file, fish hook file for sharpening hooks. I actually had it in my hand this morning and I didn't sharpen my hooks, and I reckon that is 100% the reason why I didn't set those hooks, because I felt the fish, I could see the fish turn with the bait in its mouth, and then the rig just popped back to me. Oh, and I didn't even put that much pressure on. So we're down to 1 rod now. We've got 1 dead bait left. It's a lovely, lovely afternoon at Drinkies. I sat down at this end of the lake. We've had a lovely time. We did a live stream on YouTube, which if you search for it, you'll find it, and if you're desperate to have a look through. From that, it means that I can actually show you now the action sequence. We can cut all the rubbish out. The action sequence is here, and that was a 1 hour 25-minute live stream. So some people, we had up to 9 viewers at one point, which is a record for me because I normally get about 2. But you can see there that moment of action in the middle of the live stream where the float went, I struck, I hit, and then it turned into a miss, and that was there's something. So actually on this whole video so far, I've not actually landed that you've seen a fish other than the 3 fish that I caught yesterday in the rain as the dead baits for today. It's all a bit sad really, but hopefully that's the end of this film now, unless I catch one in the next, we'll stay another half hour. If I catch a fish in the next half an hour, you'll see it. Otherwise you're not going to see it, and that's the end of it for today. Phil's laughing, he knows what I'm like. Coming up, I've got a great spot on the river in mind, on the River Irwell behind me, about 100 yards behind me. Phil and I are considering having a session for whatever we can catch at Fleetwood off the beach. It's a bit of sea fishing. I've not done that for ages and I miss it. There's worm drop shotting on the canal and on the river in town, which wasn't successful on Sunday at the beginning of this video, but does work. It's a good method. So we've got that to go at. I'm thinking about having a trip up to, I can't remember the name of the commercial now, up in Blackpool. It's on the way to Blackpool off the M56 motorway. Can't remember off the top of my head, but go there just for the fish bite in winter, just for a bit of rod bending action or elastic pulling.
Wyreside?
No, it's not Wyreside, that's up the M6. Can't remember off the top of my head, but it doesn't matter. And if we end up there, obviously you'll see it on YouTube. So thank you very much, friends. I'm going to turn the, hang on, there we go. Thank you very much for joining me on this fishless extravaganza. And I'll see you. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you're desperate. You haven't got anything better to do in your life. And I'll see you soon.